Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video we are sitting down to do a wear test on a couple of new makeup products. I say new, but I am probably the last person on YouTube to review at least one of these items in particular. We're going to be testing out the new L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear Foundation. I bought this about a month and a half ago and I am finally getting around to reviewing this thing. I've just been waiting for a good opportunity to do this video and I thought today was a good chance to do it. I will let you guys know officially and finally if this foundation is worth all the hype it's been getting. Also, we are testing out the new Milani bronzer, but very excited to try this out for you guys today. This is the makeup look that we are creating today. I'm also dipping into my Juvia's Place Magic Mini Palette, which picked it up over the Christmas break, and we will be talking a little bit about Juvia's Place. I have some questions for you guys in this video, but hopefully this sounds like a fun one to you guys. If you want to see my thoughts on both the foundation and the bronzer, as well as this palette, then let's go ahead and jump right in. Before we do, if you are new, welcome. I hope that you will stick around and hit that subscribe button. With that said, let's go ahead and put on some makeup. So we're zoomed in nice and close. I want to get started with a little bit of primer. I don't always use primer, but I have been using this primer so often over the last month. This one is the No Problem Primer from Touch in Soul, which I got in BoxyCharm last month, and I really have been enjoying this one. I just like to put it kind of right in the center of my forehead, right beside my nose, and kind of just around my chin area, and then spread kind of outwards. So here's the foundation. I think I have it in the shade 425. I don't really see a name on here. So I'm pumping a little bit onto my finger. That's just about a pump and a half. It's very liquidy. More liquidy than I was expecting. I wasn't quite ready for that. I'm just going to dot that on my face and then we're going to go in with my brush. I've been using a brush quite a bit lately to apply my foundation. Kind of thinking this might be a shade dark for me, which I'm kind of okay with because it is March, which means my skin is only going to get less pasty from here on out because baseball season has officially started. I will probably be spending some time outdoors watching my kids play baseball, and my face is going to get a little bit of a tan, which makes me think this will match me perfectly in about a month or two. Actually, that's not too bad. It's actually not a terrible shade match. That is very lightweight on the skin. I don't know what I was really expecting from this. I've watched a lot of reviews on this foundation. I think 90% of people seem to love it, but I have heard one or two people say they didn't like it. They thought it was a little bit drying on them, but they all have said it's very lightweight, and I definitely agree with that. I would certainly not call this more than a medium coverage with one pump. That was about 1 1/4 of a pump. So I think I am going to go in with just a tiny bit more and just add a little bit more to my cheek area because I have some serious skin problems going on right now. My skin right now is not very fond of me, and I am not very fond of it right now, to be honest. My goodness, this last week I don't know what it was. My skin just really is rebelling. You can kind of see on this side of my face. Happens to the best of us, right? And the finish of this is a very natural finish. I know I feel like everybody has said that, but it is so true. It just feels very skin-like. It looks very skin-like. It's not overly dewy, but it's also definitely not flat or matte. It just looks like my skin, but evened out. So far I'm impressed. We'll have to see how this wears throughout the day, but so far I am quite impressed with how that looks. So let's move into a little bit of concealer. Today I'm using my Too Faced Born This Way concealer in the color Vanilla. We're just going to pop a little bit on the many areas that I need a little extra coverage today. And I'm going to blend that out with my EcoTools sponge. I really like the feel of this sponge, but it is very fragile. So I got kind of, you know how they kind of start to sort of shred and tear? This is relatively new. I think I've only fully washed it like 2 or 3 times. I don't use a sponge all the time, but it's already kind of starting to shred apart. Before I do a little bit of setting, I'm going to put my eyeshadow primer on. Today I'm using my Marc Jacobs eyeshadow primer. So I have really been enjoying this Marc Jacobs eyeshadow primer lately, but I have to tell you guys, I think I like my trusty little $5 Wet n Wild primer just about as much. I think the Marc Jacobs one is a little bit more creamy. It's not quite so thick or as tacky right out of the tube, but they both perform just about exactly the same. So unless you find this at Marshall's, I would save yourself the money and just get the Wet n Wild one. So I'm just going to add a little bit of powder because I really don't feel like I need to, honestly. But just in case, I'm going to add just a tiny bit of powder to my cheeks just to make sure that the bronzer that we're trying out today, because I haven't tried it out yet, make sure that it works the very best that it can. So I'm going to add just a little bit of my Stay Matte powder to my eyelids. And then right here on my cheeks, but the rest of my face I'm going to leave alone. I don't want to powder because I feel like the finish is really nice. So before we jump into that bronzer, I just want to do my eyebrows really quick. I'm going to add the ColourPop Brow Boss pencil in the color Taupe. I'm going to take that one and just put it on the inside and slightly kind of above. And then on the tail of my brow, I'm going to go in with my Marc Jacobs pencil. I can't remember what these are called. The really skinny Marc Jacobs pencil that I found at my Marshalls, and we're going to put that in the tail. This one's just about a half a shade darker than the ColourPop one. Now I'm going to set those in place with my ColourPop Brow Boss Clear Gel. Alright, so now we have some brows on. Let's go ahead and jump into this bronzer. I think I mentioned in one of my last videos, I talked about how I picked up the Wet n Wild bronzer recently, but I also mentioned that I kind of regretted going with that one instead of going with this one, because I actually kind of was trying to decide between both of those. So the last time I was walking through my Walmart, they had one left in the shade 01. I was not planning on picking this up so soon. I thought that I would wait until late spring, early summer to pick this thing up because I just don't need it. But so many people have been talking about this thing, so I did it. I went ahead and bought it. So that's what we're trying out today. I haven't heard anyone mention this before, but this smells amazing. It smells an awful lot like the Butter Bronzer by Physicians Formula. I am absolutely okay with because I love the smell of the Butter Bronzer. So I think for brush today, I'm going to go in with the e.l.f. complexion brush. So there it is right there. Very pretty. It's a little bit warmer than it looks in the pan. Looking at it in the pan, it looks very cool toned. I almost was worried it was going to be a little bit too cool toned, too much of a contour rather than a bronzer, but it definitely gives a nice kind of warm sun-kissed bronze to the cheeks. Very pretty, very nice formula. So far I really am enjoying it. Bronzer is one of those products, I've got to use it for a while before I really make a decision if I love it or if I don't love it so much. Alright you guys, so there is the bronzer. Hopefully that's coming across on camera. I think it's really pretty. Very, very good color. This is a good, just perfect bronzer. It's not too warm, but it's definitely warm enough to be called a bronzer and not a contour. Now for blush, I'm going to take the Milani blush in the color Tea Rose. I really want to do something pink on the cheeks today. And I've just been so into my peach blushes lately that I feel like my pink blushes have been very neglected, and I do still love a good pink blush on occasion. Alright, so let's move into the eyes. Today we are going to be dipping into this thing. I have been dying to use this specific palette, and actually quite a few of my Juvia's Place palettes, in a video for you guys. I can't believe it's already March. I am so sorry that I just can't seem to get my act together and get that Juvia's Place video done. It really is at the top of my list of videos to film for you guys, but I'm having a hard time deciding how I want to go about filming that video, if I want to do one video or multiple videos, because I picked up 3 more Juvia's Place palettes over the Christmas holiday, in addition to the Nubian 2 that I absolutely love. You guys know I've talked that palette to death. Still love that palette. But I want to ask you guys a question. Would you guys like to see dedicated videos for each of those palettes separately? Or I was thinking of even doing something like, if you saw my Milani eyeshadow palette video where I reviewed the 4 different Milani eyeshadow palettes, those gold eyeshadow palettes, and I think I did 2 looks from each palette. Let me know if you guys would like to see me do something like that, where I just kind of do a roundup of all of the palettes together. And I'm also going to be talking about the brushes that I got from them, which I will be using right now as well. Let me know if you'd rather see that, or if you'd rather me break them out and do more individualized, either get ready with me's or a couple of looks from each palette. If you have a preference, please let me know in the comments below. Maybe it will help me kind of really decide how I want to tackle that video. Today we're going to be using the Magic Mini palette. This is such a great palette. It's a very colorful palette, but it's very pastel-y in tone. I mean, you do have a couple of bright pops of color, but this colorful palette leans a little bit more pastel, which to me makes it a little bit more wearable for someone that is not way into bright colors. So today I actually am going to be concentrating on this color right here. I did a look the other day just kind of for fun. I actually did it like first thing in the morning before I worked out, which sounds crazy, but sometimes I come over here and play with makeup instead of doing my workout in the morning. And that's what happened that morning. And I went and I did a look where I did this silver all over the lid and I smoked out the outer corner with this dark navy blue. Okay, I am not a blue eyeshadow person, and I honestly still am not sure that I would be comfortable wearing that look out during the day, but that for a date night, like, that was a really pretty look. I would love to recreate that look. I would do it for you guys right now, except that I do have places to go tonight that I don't want to be looking too glam, so we're going to keep it pretty neutral with this color. But seriously, this is such a beautiful palette. These blue shades, these greens, these pinks, oh my gosh. Probably one of, I don't want to make that statement yet because I still feel like I haven't played with the other ones quite enough yet to really say that this might be my new favorite, but I am thoroughly enjoying this palette right now. So I'm going to start off by taking this little brush. This is their Pro Blending Brush, and I'm going to dip that into this shade right here, which is just a half a shade darker than my natural skin tone. And we're just going to kind of start putting that right above the crease, like right onto my brow bone. This one is if you have really fair skin, this would be a great transition shade for you. For me, it kind of is almost just kind of a base shade. It doesn't really show up very much on me, but it is a great shade to use kind of when you're done to blend out the edges of your shadow. Works really well for that. I'm going to dip into this kind of warm transition shade right here. This is the color Nana, and I'm going to take that on this little fluffy blending brush, and we're going to just kind of pop that pretty loosely, slightly above the crease right here. Okay, now I'm going to take this brush. This is their small buffer brush. It's kind of just like a standard, kind of that C-shaped eyeshadow kind of packing brush. I'm going to get a little bit of that same transition color just on the tip of that brush, and we're going to run it right under my lash line. So now I'm taking this kind of light bluish silver shade. This is Yamoha. I have no idea how to say that. I'm sure neither of those was right, but this is what it looks like. Can you guys see how pretty that is? It's kind of a baby blue silver. This is such a unique, beautiful color. It's like the most wearable way to wear a blue, in my opinion. I'm gonna just pop that all over my lid. I'm not going to go in too heavy with this one because, again, I have places to go tonight where I don't want to be looking very glam, but if you really want some intensity, you can really get really intense foiled pigmentation out of this color. I'm just trying to go in a little bit more light-handed with it. I'm just going to take that first blending brush I used, the Pro Blending Brush, and we're just going to kind of blend that edge a little bit. I want it really all the way up to my crease, just on this inner part of my lid, and then kind of blend it out over here. And I'm going to take that same color, we're going to apply just a tiny bit of that right to the inner corner, so it's kind of on the upper and lower tear duct area. Then I'm going to take that paddle type brush, and we're just going to kind of go back over that lower lash line a little bit. Alright, so I'm going to do a little bit of liner. I'm taking my LA Girl Ultimate Eyeliner on my upper waterline. I'm also going to apply it just kind of right here at the outer corner, slightly winged out, and then I will be right back. Alright guys, so there are the finished eyes. I don't know how well it's coming across on camera. This is one of my favorite eye looks that I've done in a while. I know it's very neutral, very soft. We basically just have like a pastel crease, a pastel peach crease, and the light blue shimmer on the eyelids, but I think it looks so pretty. I think it's super subtle, but it's still colorful and kind of fun. Very brightening, which is just what I love in a good eye look. But I also applied a couple of coats of the L'Oreal Lash Paradise mascara. If you did not see my video yet, I believe that one's going out before this one, but I did a wear test of this versus the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. So if you're curious to see which of those two mascaras won, or if they were really dupes for each other, go check out that video. But I realized I forgot to put highlighter on. What was I thinking? I'm going to go into my Makeup Revolution liquid highlighter in the color Champagne, and we're just going to add a little bit of glow to the tops of my cheeks. I haven't used this thing for like a week, which is a record for me because I have been using this daily for months now. Oh, I love it. I love this stuff. Lately I've been reaching for my Becca highlighter and my ColourPop Smoke and Whistles a lot. Both of which I love. So many good highlighters out there to pick from. It's one of the reasons I kind of don't want to get any more because I already love so many of the ones that I have. I kind of feel guilty falling in love with too many highlighters because I hate to love a product and not get to wear it all the time. I don't seem to have that same thinking when it comes to eyeshadows though. Can never have too many eyeshadow palettes apparently. Now let's move into the lips. So I'm going to start off by taking this ColourPop lip pencil. This one is in the color Oh Snap. Alright, and now I'm going to go in with my ColourPop What's Your Sign lipstick. And I'm going to top that off with the ColourPop lip gloss in the color Fairy Floss. Alright guys, so this is the finished makeup look. I am loving how this makeup look looks today. I love the eye look. I think my skin looks really, really great. Very impressed with this foundation so far. Super excited to give this a wear throughout the day. Also, the bronzer. The color of this bronzer is just perfect for my skin tone. So I will probably not be able to do a check-in today because I'll be gone tonight and I know that I'm going to be exhausted by the time I get home. I will be sure to keep using this foundation though and give you guys an update soon on how I am liking it. Let me know if you guys have tested out this foundation because I know that I am probably the last person to review this foundation. It has been reviewed like crazy and so many people have been loving it. So have you guys tried it out? Did it work for you? Did you love it? What is your skin type? Let us know in the comments below. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. Again, let me know your thoughts on the Juvia's Place video. I really would love your guys' feedback on that because I really want to get cracking on making that video for you guys. Also, I want to give a quick thank you to those of you that have given me so much support and encouragement, wrote some recommendations for me for the Sephora squad. You guys are amazing. Again, I don't have any great expectations of this turning into anything for me this year. We'll see. I mean, you never know. But I am super excited to see how this all pans out, what exactly it is, who they end up picking. I think it's going to be really fun to keep an eye on. There's quite a few people that I watch on YouTube that I am really rooting for, but it means the world to me that you guys are so supportive. I love you guys. You guys are so amazing. Thank you guys again. Thanks for watching this video today. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that you all have a fantastic day, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye. So I just got my hair done, and it's pulled up today. I didn't actually do it today. I probably should have. You just got your hair done. The color looks amazing. I should show it off and not be lazy, but this is what's happening today, and I know it's looking a little dark. All the blonde is up in here, so it's like, you can see my bun. There's all the blonde. My Rimmel Matte Stay Matte bronze. Oh, come on.